For anybody who's interested in upping their game as an instructor, as a teacher, as a facilitator, as a trainer, I think one of the most important things that you need to do, one of the first skills that you can really focus on that just makes a dramatic impact, is learning how to hear what people are saying rather than simply listening to what they said. And so, what on earth does that mean? Listening for people's intentions, their genuine hearts, their true goals, the things that they're trying to say, but their vocabulary may be limited, or they're just speaking and we're constantly having to draw on, well, these are the words available to me. And even this is how much headspace I have right now and clarity I have right now. Brain fog and busyness does so much to interfere with us being able to, really in the moment say, this is what I'm thinking, this is what I'm feeling, this is what I want, this is what I need. And so it's up to us as human beings to show up for each other, to be paying attention and listening so that we can hear the intention, the genuine message they're trying to communicate, and not just the words that might come out. And so some of the things that can end up happening is that we just hear, first of all, one example would be, well, somebody's just talking. And a huge mistake that you can make as a trainer or a facilitator is to ever think that anybody is ever just talking. Sometimes people make the mistake of waiting for somebody to say something important, and then they figure that's when I'll give you my attention, except that that's not how human beings work. So the very first thing for us to recognize is that if somebody bothered to speak in the first place, it means that they had something important to say. People don't just out of the blue say like, hey, I saw a piece of blue lint today. If it's not important, like they don't talk about those things. But then that means that, hold on, because people don't do that, it means if somebody says, I saw a piece of blue lint today, and you're going, why are you talking about lint? Ask then, like, practice curiosity, check in with the person because there's some reason that it stuck out to them. So pursue that line of conversation. They said something important, even if it seems to just be about lint. So just recognizing the very act of somebody speaking out, speaking up, means that they're saying something important. If you work with children, that is additionally important because children's thoughts are written off on a regular basis. But children, they're humans. They're just small humans, okay? They don't speak unless it's important to them. And if we start to remember that, frogs jump funny and, the sky is wavy today, those kinds of comments that's not useless, that's not pointless, that's not, something that I can just tune out while I wait for them to actually say something important. If you realize that everything that everybody says anytime is important, it changes the way that you listen. You start to listen all the time. And I will share that any number of opportunities that I've had made available to me, any number of connections that I've had that were really valuable connections. One just in that spark of like two humans really connecting in that moment and seeing each other and recognizing each other. That's life-giving. That's a wonderful experience to have. So many of those interactions have resulted from the fact that I was listening. I was listening to you when you were talking earlier, and I recognize how what you said earlier influences my understanding of what you're saying to me now. They feel more understood now because I didn't write off things that they said earlier as unimportant, but like now you're telling me something important. So what is it that people are trying to say? Listen to all of it because it's all context. It's all information about their perspective, about their experience, about the angle that they're coming from when they say everything that comes afterwards. And then the other thing that I can suggest is when we're thinking about what is your intention, what are you trying to say to me, not just focusing on how they said it. Swearing is a huge thing that can come up. If there are certain kinds of language that you don't feel comfortable with, that you don't respect, that you think this should be kept out of conversation. For some of you, you might feel like, yeah, swearing has a place sometimes. For others, it's just nope, like it's just something you shouldn't do. What we can do as professionals is acknowledge that swearing is part of the lexicon, part of the vocabulary available to people. And whatever our personal beliefs about swearing are, if we shut somebody down in the moment, they're trying to tell us something and they swear. If we just focus on the swearing or on the language, please don't say it like that. Please don't use that word. We actually are demonstrating like I'm so focused on how you're saying something that I'm not listening to what you're saying. The way to flip that around and to demonstrate to people that you are listening to what they're saying and you can still reshape their language. If you know, like, this is going to be a very difficult conversation to continue if you're using that racist slur, if you were using that slang, if you were using that, whatever it was. Listen to what they said, hear them out however it comes out. Listen to the intention and then respond to the intention. When somebody tells you that something is bleeping hard, instead of saying, please don't use that word, like that's not necessary. Something's bleeping hard. Okay, so this has been really difficult for you. Bounce back to them. I heard what you said. And that's what we're speaking to. You want to meet an instructor, a trainer, like a professional who is connecting with their people. Okay. And this is where a lot of 5-star reviews come from. This is where getting invited back comes from. This is where, you have more doors of opportunity opened up to you. When you stop answering back to how somebody said something, but you demonstrate instead that you were talking to this person based on what they said, their intention, their true heart. You have a conversation with their true heart, some really, really, really amazing things happen. So there's some insights into how to take things from the surface to connecting with the genuine, true people around you. And I hope that you find that helpful. All the best.